Well, y'all liking these owner-operator tip videos, so here comes another one. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm back. All right, 5 tips an owner-operator must know to stay successful. All right, let's go with number 1. You must know what your cost per mile is. You need to break that down. Know what your housing costs are. Know what your business costs are. Those all play a factor in your minimum CPM, and knowing what you need to make to basically just break even. Now that goes in, you need maintenance. You need, maintenance. If you have a truck note, you need fuel cost. You need to know how much your housing costs. All your bills at the house. You need to break those up to know exactly how much you need to make per mile just to break even and how many miles you need to run. Now, that being said, I will do another video in depth on how to break everything down into basically dummy-proof, easy calculations on finding out what your break-even part is in this industry. What you need to make just to make a profit and keep living. Okay. Number 2, things you must know in the trucking industry when you are an owner-operator. You need to know your equipment. Hands down. You need to know that engine. You need to know your truck. You need to be able to feel when something is going bad. You need to know how smooth your engine runs. You need to know every little knock it has, every bump it has. When you hit a dip, you need to know exactly how that's going to react. That way, if anything feels off, even the slightest thing feels off, you know there's something wrong with your truck. You need to know that truck like the back of your hand. I think that's how the saying always went. But you really need to know your truck, plain and simple. You need to stay on top of your truck. You need to know when your shocks need to be changed. You need to, you hear a little bit of a rattling or something, or your truck's pulling, or you feel like you hit a bump and it dips a little bit more than it should, and you're bouncing a little bit more. You know your shocks are going bad. You can't be numb to all the feeling and senses that you are going through when it comes to your money. That truck is your money. That truck's your livelihood. That truck might be your family's livelihood as well. You need to know your truck. Number 3, every owner-operator must know this. The money you make needs to last you. Now, I'm not saying just until the next week or until the next settlement. You need to make your money last. What's the point of being out here if you're still living paycheck to paycheck if you're going to be an owner-operator? You need to set yourself up, one, maybe to get a newer truck later down the road, or just to build your business. Retirement. You don't want to be out here. You need to put money away for these things. You don't want to be sitting back when in your late 60s, 70s and wondering why I still have to drive the truck instead of want to drive the truck. Set yourself up for success in the future. I can't remember if we're on 3 or 4. I think we're on 4. If not, I'll throw a spare one in there. All right. Number 4. Things you must know when being an owner-operator. If you are not getting your loads and someone else is, you need to have a good relationship with them, whether it be a broker or if you're hiring a dispatch service, or if you're contracted on with a company and you have a driver manager. Get a good relationship with them. Tell them your expectations. let them know exactly how you want to be ran. You need to know where you want to go, where's the most profitable, where it actually makes sense. If you don't want to drive in the winter and be in bad weather, make that stated. Do not contract with a company that is going to try and force you to run your own truck somewhere where you're not comfortable. Plain and simple. Let's go. I believe it's number 5. I'm not quite sure. I'm going off the hip on all of these. Just so you know, I don't write these things down. And yeah. Number 5. If you have a family at home, do not neglect them. They will hold resentments. So main thing, you always have to be able to balance. Now, that comes down to knowing your cost per mile. If you're making high enough revenue that's higher above your cost per mile, you can afford to go home a little bit more and not live an extravagant lifestyle and be able to live comfortably with your family. There's a lot of other trucking YouTubers out here also that do the same. Time spent with your family, I mean, that's the biggest reward out of this whole industry. Now, if you're single, you like being alone, by all means, go make that money, collect those bills. You got this. All right, this might be the extra one. I don't know. It might be number 5. Again, I don't know. I wasn't counting in my head very well. But this one, do not flaunt your money. What I mean by this, all those people that are running out here with those show trucks and everything else, yes, they look amazing. Until you are financially settled enough to actually dress your truck up, spend that extra money, and get it the way you want it, don't do it. Only do that is if you have the spare money already in the bank. Same story like I told before. My buddy, he $10,000 paint job, new bumper, new visor, new interior. All of a sudden, slow season hits, he blew his motor. Didn't have the money to do it. Always make sure you have that money in reserve. Plain and simple. You don't know what's going to happen. A lot of people during this recession didn't have loads. Luckily, I have contracts. Those fulfill them. So, know what you're doing. Manage your money right. Plain and simple. If you're not managing your money, you ain't going to be around that long. It's the sad truth about this industry. All right, before I go, I'm going to talk about a couple of things, though. If y'all haven't seen, I do have that Teespring store. The link is in the description. If you want to pick up some trucker-style merch and help support the channel, go ahead and do so. Also, follow me on TikTok, Trucker-Style Shawn, Instagram, Trucker-Style Shawn, and the Facebook page, Trucker-Style Shawn. I want to actually interact with y'all. If y'all have any questions, best way to get a hold of me is through my DMs on Instagram. If it's a big enough question where there's a lot of people that might actually have some say and some input into it, go ahead and put it on the Trucker-Style Shawn Facebook page. I believe there's 89 people that are following the page right now. Let's grow that. Let's try and get to, say, 2,000 before Christmas. I mean, I have just over 4,000 subscribers. If everybody goes on there and clicks in, we can talk. And everybody else can put their 2 cents in also. I want to see what y'all are doing. Let me see your trucks. If it breaks, if you need help fixing it, throw it up on the page. We have a bunch of people there that can help you out, help you diagnose problems. It's what it's there for, you guys. Be a nice, rounded community. I have a couple of my friends who are also mechanics, and they're on there as well. So depending on what motor or truck you have, let's find your problems. Y'all take it easy. Keep the rubber side down. Later, you guys.